Welcome to IC Layout. Today we are going to look at the CMOS process. The CMOS process is the dominant technology in IC manufacturing. In the CMOS process, we are able to make both NMOS and PMOS transistors. The treatment for this topic in this module will be brief but sufficient for your IC layout. If you want more details, you will need to attend the wafer fabrication technology module. Let's come back to the CMOS process. The CMOS circuits are fabricated in the silicon wafer. In this case, we will use a P-type silicon wafer, and as it is P-type, it will be doped with boron. The silicon, or P substrate as we call it, is the body in which the N-channel transistors or NMOS transistors are formed. The doped P substrate minimizes the substrate resistivity, so current is able to flow on the surface of the substrate. If N-channel transistors are formed in the P substrate, how then will the P-channel transistors be formed? In order for P-channel transistors to be formed, we must first create an area within the P substrate called the N-well. In order to create the N-well, we go through a series of photolithographic steps in which we create the patterns or openings for the N-wells, and then we implant the surface of the exposed P substrate with phosphorus so that it becomes N-doped, and then after which we subject the wafer to high temperatures so that the dopants are driven into the substrate such that it changes the nature of the substrate from P doped to N doped. So here you see, after the implantation and thermal drive-in, we have an area within the P substrate which is N-doped. This is called the N-well. The P-type transistors will be formed within the N-well. In the next step, we will be creating the gate of the transistors. Firstly, we need to create an area for the gate oxide to be deposited. The gate oxide is a thin layer of oxide which is precisely grown. The thickness of the gate oxide will determine the threshold voltage. So in this slide, you'll see the openings created and the thin gate oxide deposited on the surface of the P substrate and the N-well. Next, a layer of polysilicon is deposited over the thin oxide to form the gate. The polysilicon is used to form the gate of the transistor.